Hi friends, and welcome back. If you're in your 20s and you're constantly questioning whether you're on the right path, you're doing enough, or you're falling behind, most people feel lost in their 20s. But there are few signs, silent but powerful, that show that you're on the right path or beyond the curve. And today, I want to share with you 5 signs that you're better than you think and to show that you're ahead of many others in your age group. Before we dive in, subscribe to the channel and give this video a like when you're building your future brick by brick and you never want to miss a video about personal finance, intentional living, and building your future, and it would help the channel tremendously. Thank you. Sign number 1, you have zero consumer debt. Let's start with this one, because this is the one that most young people try to avoid. You can't and you don't have consumer debt. That means no credit card balance, you don't finance your phone, and you don't use Klarna to buy stupid clothes you don't need. Hear me out. Consumer debt is a sign, not financially, but behaviorally. Because carrying consumer debt says, I want this now, but I can't afford this, and I'm not willing to wait till I can afford this. It's not just expensive. It's a sign that your income and your expenses are not aligned anymore. If you're in your 20s and you've never used consumer debt or climbed out of consumer debt, you're way ahead of all the other young people who have messy accounts and high Klarna debt and consumer debt on credit cards and things. Why? Because the average 20-something is drowning in high interest rate and consumer debt they will never pay back again and hold them back for years. Living without consumer debt says you're in control, you're creating awareness, and you're a long-term thinker. You control your money, it doesn't control you. That's the foundation of building long-term wealth. Sign number 2, you have a job that supports growth. Now, I know, having a job sounds basic, but let's go deeper. It's not about just having a job. It's about having a job that pays you fairly, that gives you opportunity to grow and is aligned with your long-term goals. Because here's the truth, your income is your number one wealth building tool. Not crypto, not stocks. It's about your ability to earn and reinvest your money to your future. That's where the game is won. So, if you're in your 20s and you've landed a job, corporate, creative, startup, that gives you baseline income and room to evolve, you're ahead of 95% of all people around. You are already building the leverage you will need for later. And look, I'm not saying it has to be your dream job, but if it helps fund your future and your learning, you're good. You are in a good place. Sign number 3, you're learning beyond school. Let me ask you this. When was the last time you've learned something not because you had to, but because you wanted to? If you're reading books on personal finance, marketing or productivity, if you're watching online courses, lectures, or pursuing new certifications, or if you're listening to podcasts and take notes like you write the next exam about it, that right there, that's elite behavior. Because here's what most people do when they leave university. They stop learning. They enter into an autopilot mode, they wait for the job to teach them something, and they are falling behind even without realizing it. Self-directed learning is one of the most underrated superpowers in your 20s. It compounds over time, it builds your identity, and it shapes your thinking. You don't need to be enrolled in a master's program to have a learner's mindset. If you're spending time getting better intentionally, you're way ahead. Sign number 4, you have long-term goals and a system to chase them. This one is big. If you're in your 20s and you already started setting goals that are clear and intentional, you're light years ahead. I'm not talking about vague goals like I want to be rich, I want to be successful, I want to have more. I'm talking about I want to have saved 50,000 US dollars by 30. I'm talking about I want to build a personal brand with 10,000 followers in social media. Or I'm talking about I want to reach a senior goal in 5 years. Clarity creates movement. And even more important than having a goal is having a system to pursue them. I use a simple goal tracking setup. Annual goals, quarterly focuses, and weekly to-dos. It's not about pressure, it's about alignment. If you've sat down with yourself and asked, what do I want and how do I get there, then you're not just surviving your 20s, you're building something remarkable. Sign number 5. You're building a foundation of self-discipline. This last one, it's everything. Hear me out. Self-discipline beats talent, intelligence, even opportunity every time. And no, I'm not talking about being perfect. I'm talking about showing up even if no one's watching. If you work out regularly, wake up at a consistent time, stick to the reading habit, and invest monthly, track your tasks, and say no to distractions you used to say yes to, then congrats. You have built the one thing that separates the dreamers from the doers. In your 20s, the world wants you to drift. Social media wants you to compare, and marketing wants you to consume. But self-discipline takes you back in control. It means you are the one driving, not your impulses, not your environment. If you have built even just a baseline of self-discipline, you're building a life most people just talk about. Wrap up. You're not behind, you're building smart. So, let's wrap up. If you're in your 20s, first, have no consumer debt. Second, have a job that funds your growth. Third, keep learning outside the system. Fourth, have real measurable goals. And fifth, are building a muscle of self-discipline. You're not just doing okay, you're ahead of the game. Most people in their 20s are still figuring out, and that's okay. But if you're already doing these 5 things, you're building leverage, habits, and vision, and that puts you in the top 5% of your age group. So stop second guessing. Keep going. Your future self will thank you later. Let me know in the comments, which of these 5 habits are you working on and which of these 5 habits you have already implemented into your life. And if this video helped you to be a little bit more grounded and positive about your future, subscribe to the channel and give this video a like. See you in the next one. Bye.